Let's talk about the comment of the day. And normally I love bringing up all the hate mail that I get from the feminists and simps, and it's always fun. Yesterday I did one and it was great, but today I saw this comment and I thought, you know what, this is great. I appreciate positive comments. I love the negative comments, of course, because if I wasn't getting all the shitty comments from feminists and modern women and simps, I would feel like I'm doing something wrong. But in this case, and this is a male commenter, Kind Malice is his username. He's actually sharing some wisdom that I think every guy really needs to know. I've learned this late in life, and I think this is very important. So let's read it. Dear man of the world, and this does apply to every single man in any point of this planet. Build the life you want to live first. When you build something strong and fulfilling for yourself, then invite others into it. Don't live for someone else. Focus on creating your own path. Guys, everybody should print this out and put it in front above their beds. Okay? Tear down your, hockey or football player posters. This should go on there because let me explain to you how deep this is. Now, again, unfortunately, I don't want to say unfortunately, but I've learned this only a few years ago because I was lucky enough to have amazing relationships with amazing, submissive, and traditional women pretty much for most of my life until it ended 5 or 6 years ago once feminism and modern women, all that shit started. And I essentially ended up leaving America to live right here in Thailand, which I absolutely love. But you know and this is where I've learned that. But before that, I've always had an amazing woman by my side for most of my life, though I do have to say that much like many men, I build my life around creating a great life for me and her. Right? I never want to have kids, but if I did, obviously for the kids. Sorry, I fucked up my microphone. Okay, I'm back. Right, I'm back. So this is very important because I if you live for a woman, then you are essentially dependent on her. A man should never be dependent on a woman. And this is why a lot of times when women dump men, which they do a lot nowadays because nothing is good enough anymore, men have a very hard time rebounding and recovering, where these women move on very quickly. There are plenty of sims and they really do believe that they can do better. They can't most of the time. And that's how they end up making videos that we just went over it a few minutes ago. But you know you need to build your own life where you're happy on your own. After my last breakup, I was trying to look for a girl to again marry, be partners with. And I was sort of, I felt like my life wasn't complete because I don't have a girl by my side. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Luckily I've always done well with women, never had problems getting sex, never had problems getting friends with benefits. But I always thought, without having a girl by my side permanently as a future wife, my life is not complete. What am I doing? But I realized that, especially when I came here to Thailand, and access to sex and casual relationships, multiple partners has now like skyrocketed from what I had, which wasn't bad in America. I realized that I don't need a woman. I mean, I need women around me, obviously, sex and many other way, but you don't need to have one wife in your life, one partner, unless a girl walks into your life and completely immerses herself in it. Right? It is. Yeah, I build my life the way I want to. I have my kingdom. I have my income. I have my amazing condo with an amazing view. I live my life where it does not. My happiness does not depend on a woman, one woman being in my life. Again, I love having women in my life, and it's not a problem here. But I do not depend on having one female partner in my life. And when she appears, she will be the one seeing me as a prize rather than the other way around. And she will have to join my life and live for me rather than the other way around. My job would just be maintaining that life and of course taking care of her, but on the condition that she takes care of me. And this is the only way to be, because if you depend on a woman being in your life, Oh, that's a tough life. That means you're already a simp, and probably things are going to get worse. So you've probably seen these guys who get stuck in this relationship and marriages that just women they figure out, oh, this guy really depends on me. He can't live without me. And I can live without him because all I have to do is open a dating profile, which some women do try just to see what happens. So they realize that a million simps would be at their door. And but men a lot of times don't realize that they've just kind of fallen into this trap where they're just like on heroin, except for heroin is that woman in their life who they thought was their forever partner, but it's not. So guys, print this thing out, live by this. If you don't feel like you have a life that you're already happy with, and a woman in your life would just be in cherry on top, you are not ready to date. You're not ready to date. Build your life, get a better job, get in a better shape, get in a mental state, travel a little bit, get more friends. Once you're happy on your own, if there's a woman out there that's meant for you, she will walk into your life. Obviously, make yourself available. You know what I mean? But you should be perfectly fine without that one woman. Have a bunch of girls around for sex, have a bunch of girls around for attention and many other things. But as far as, that one wife material woman, build your castle first. Let me take another comment from the chat. Do you get hate comments mostly from TikTok? Is your mental health able to handle such stream of hate? Love this question. So on TikTok, TikTok is actually number 2, believe it or not. There's another app that I'm on. It's called the Red Note. That's the app that everybody jumped onto as an alternative to TikTok when TikTok everybody thought was getting banned, and then people kind of abandoned it. But it's a quite popular app here in Southeast Asia, in Asia in general. It's a Chinese app owned by exactly the same company as TikTok, which was ironic and funny. But that's where I get the most of hate. As a matter of fact, I have people subscribe to my channel there so they can watch my videos and hate me. And that's where I get a lot of PMs that are like, I hope you die, and all of that stuff. So Red Note is the number one source of my hate mail. Now, how can I handle it? Okay, so there's a couple of ways. First of all, a lot of you don't know, even though I know some of my followers from the previous channel followed me here. I've been a professional YouTuber for almost 8 years. My previous channel was about electric cars. Now, you would think like, Alex, who would hate somebody talking about electric cars? Well, I talked about electric cars, and I've criticized Tesla in Elon Musk from back in the day. And oh boy, those Tesla fans, they take it personally. I mean, I had people send me shit to my house, find out where I lived when I lived in Sacramento, and send me stuff to my house. So it was creepy. And yes, I had a bunch of hate mail. So I've already kind of gotten used to it. I also have a lot of YouTuber friends who also have a lot of hate mail. They know how to handle it. And I thrive on hate thrown my way for a couple of reasons. First of all, when I get hate mail from simps and modern women, it's a validation to me that I'm doing something right. If I didn't get those, I'll be like, what am I doing wrong? Like, is this is not triggering any of these people that I'm talking about? Well, that's something is wrong. So the fact that I'm getting a lot of hate mail only tells me that I am doing the right thing. And I don't know what it is, but I strive on it. Like when I played hockey in America, when I had my own family and my girlfriend root for me, I was like, all right, that's nice. But man, if the other team had their fans over and they would like heckle me, I would turn the best performance of the night, just completely turn it up. So first of all, it doesn't bother me. I look at it as a validation to the fact that what I'm doing is the right thing to do. And honestly, it gives me a lot of fuel. That's why I have a segment like this. And yes, today it's a positive comment, but don't count on that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going back to the hate mail, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmanproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your life.